I'm going to be really honest with you. Not everyone is ready for their healing journey, and that's not a bad thing. That's okay. But you have to be really, really honest with yourself before you start this. Healing isn't a trend, it's not an aesthetic, it's not something to put on your Pinterest board. Healing isn't comfortable. That's the whole point. Healing is going to make you confront things that you don't want to confront. It will ask things of you that you might not be ready to actually give. So before we start this journey of even how to heal, you have to really ask yourself if you are ready for that. Hello, my name is Katerina. I am a transformation coach, a shadow guide, an astrologer. I help women to stop the patterns, the loops, the stuck feeling, to get out of their own way so they can be the version of themselves that they've always wanted to be. How I guide you through that is with astrology and deep inner work. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came on Saturday for the Saturn workshop. I hope you got something from it. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I am announcing something exciting on Sunday, so I hope that you stick around for that video. Turn your notification bell on so you don't miss that one. And yeah, let's get into the video. Some people are completely content with their life. Some people are comfortable with where they are, they're happy with where they are, and they don't want to change. That's completely fine. That's absolutely okay. Because healing isn't something that you should force yourself into. It isn't something that you do when you feel like you should do it. Healing is something that naturally is an evolution of you no longer wanting to be the same person, to react the same way as you used to. You want a different life where it's not coming from desperation. It's coming from like you just feel like you've outlived the version of you that you are now. That's when the healing would start. So the readiness really comes from a few places. The first one is when you've hit rock bottom. I call it the pivot point, where you have come to the what for your life, the worst moment. The moment where you've looked at yourself and said, I cannot live like this anymore. There must be more than what I am giving myself right now. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a health scare. Maybe it's you're so tired of feeling like you don't have enough money. Whatever it is, there's this feeling of like the deep low point. There's this feeling of disconnection from others that you might have enjoyed prior. There might be a feeling of you sitting around a table and you just feel like it doesn't hit the same way it used to. You feel a bit more and more like an outsider. You feel unfulfilled with what you're doing in your life, and you really are aware of that unfulfillment. Or there's this sense that you feel like there is something more to life than what you are giving yourself right now. You feel like there's something else and you're not quite sure, but it's making you feel like you might be a little bit lost or stuck. Despite the whole identity trend that is going around, the whole glow up trend, most people start their healing journey not because it's trendy, but because they are done. They are literally done. They are at the precipice of the end of their old life and they can just feel it. They need to change. Healing is not peaceful, nor is it linear. It will ask you things that you have been avoiding. It will be sometimes so uncomfortable that you really don't want to continue. You will cry so much. The more you go through it, the easier it gets. But it's the starting, it's that difficult point when you have to ask yourself really confronting, triggering questions. Most people don't even get to that point. Or most people stay on the superficial side of shadow work, which I believe is the generic questions that are just not triggering enough for people. If you really want to change your life, the questions that you ask yourself need to be to the depths of your soul. So these are questions that I would ask you to determine whether you are actually ready for this healing journey, which is shadow work. Am I actually happy right now? And where in my life am I not happy? Am I avoiding something that I know I need to face? Am I unintentionally or intentionally waiting for something or someone to save me? You cannot create a new life while still feeding the old version of yourself. You don't have to start today, but you do have to be really honest with yourself and ask yourself if you are actually ready for this journey. There are two paths. Either you stay where you are, it might be comfortable, it might be safe, it might be familiar, and you stay where you are and you make it work. And you just deal with the fact that you know that there might be more, but you're not ready for that right now. Or you choose your growth and you know that that will be uncomfortable and that will not be peaceful for a while. But you know that it will transform you. If you're not ready for this, that is absolutely okay. We all have our healing journeys. I started mine in my 30s. Don't force yourself into this if you are genuinely not ready for it. But don't say you're ready for it and then not do any of the work. The life you want, the person you want to be, with the love, the alignment, the career, the fulfillment, whatever it is, that version of you requires an honest version of you now. It needs you to be willing to see yourself so clearly and not avoid the deep questions, not avoid the depths of your soul. That's what it is asking of you. That is what this journey is asking of you. If you are ready, this is exactly what my astrology-based shadow work does. You can work one-to-one with me. I have a couple of things coming out in the next couple of weeks that you can wait for. But the work is in the asking yourself uncomfortable questions, triggering questions. And those are way more specific for me when I attach them to astrology. When I attach them to your birth chart, I can see so clearly what your wounds are, what needs to be worked on, what needs to be healed. When I first started my own healing journey, I started with generic shadow work prompts. I did that, I would say, for at least 2 years. And my life wasn't changing and nothing was happening. And I didn't feel like now I realize I wasn't hitting the deeper questions. Back then, I thought, oh, I don't have as many issues as I thought I did. But the questions were not specific enough for me. As soon as I started to do astrology-based shadow work, which was looking at my placements, looking at what that brings up, I cried so much. I was so uncomfortable. I would leave it for a month and then I'd be like, no, I need to go back. I would do the prompts at the beginning for every full moon and every new moon, what was being brought up for me. Like I said, if you joined my Saturn workshop, you would know that I have the Saturn Masterclass coming out, and that should be out by Sunday. And that you could have, it has specific shadow work prompts for every Saturn house and every sign. And it works through what the aspects are and all that stuff. You can look at those and you can do the prompts for your Saturn Placidus and your Saturn whole sign and your Saturn transit. If you were ready for this work, that's a really great start. I will go into detail with astrology shadow work in more videos, but I wanted to make this video first because, first of all, I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to force yourself into something that you are genuinely not ready yet to face, because my questions will trigger you. They will. I'm just point blank, like, they will trigger you. And you have to be ready for that. And if you're not, that's totally okay. You don't have to be ready today. But when you are ready, my work will be here if you want to use astrology-based shadow work. It is something that genuinely, I have such a level of self-awareness that I automatically stop myself when I know that I'm looping or when something has brought me into a place that normally myself would have got lost in. But now I'm like, no, that's exactly what that is. That's where it is. No. And that took a long time to get here. This isn't an overnight thing. This isn't 6 months of healing. You will take breaks. You will come back onto it. But you'll notice more and more you are really changing. You're really evolving. And that is exciting. But first, you have to be really real with yourself and ask yourself if you are ready for the uncomfortable feeling that this work would do. Because it will. It will be uncomfortable. It will trigger you. It will be incredibly hard sometimes. And you have to decide which version of yourself do you want to be right now. Either one is absolutely fine. It's your life. But you just have to be really honest with yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was caring, maybe a little bit of tough love, but yeah. I will be showing up twice a week now, so you'll be seeing more of me, and my videos will come out. At the moment, I've chosen Wednesday and Sunday, so I will see you on Sunday.